Hi, Keto friends and family. I'm Heather, and this is What's Up Wednesday. Sorry for the delay. I was having trouble with my internet. What's new? So today over on the blog, we've got Recipe Day, and I'm sharing with you my favorite St. Louis ribs with my own homemade barbecue sauce, which is a huge hit in my house. And your hands dirty, literally. So you could hopefully make these for whether Memorial Day or other backyard barbecues or family get-togethers. It's that time of year. So that's what you're going to be seeing on the blog on Recipe Day from now until the kickoff of summer is stuff that you can share with people that aren't maybe eating keto or people that you need to feed a lot of and on a little budget. So I'm totally familiar with that. But I also wanted to talk today about the difference between paleo versus keto. Paleo really took hold of a lot of us, 5-6 years ago. If you haven't heard of paleo, it's very similar to keto, but there's some pretty big differences. How many of you out there have actually heard of paleo? How many of you have tried paleo, and how many of you lost weight on paleo or didn't, and so you just totally gave up and walked away? I fall into that camp. Before I really came to keto or even knew about the ketogenic lifestyle, paleo was on my radar. I was doing gluten-free, I was doing organic. I had an uncle who was hardcore paleo after coming back from a pretty massive heart attack and went against conventional wisdom, read Wheat Belly, which was really a game changer for him, and in turn kind of spread the word for our family. And so that was really my first go round with paleo and eating like our ancestors. That's really the foundation of paleo, is what did the hunter-gatherers eat? And you can pretty much eat the same things. So on the paleo diet, you can eat wild-caught fish, you can eat pasture-raised game, meats, staying away from any unpasteurized dairy. So you could do raw, unpasteurized dairy minimally. On some paleo people say no dairy at all. Eggs, seeds, nuts, let's see what else. Seeds, nuts, fruits, veggies, things like that. But they also have ancient grains, honey, coconut sugar, things that you can find naturally occurring. So that all of that is on the table. The big difference between paleo versus keto is keto does no grains. So not even the quinoa, that's off the table. And I know or wild rice, I know that for a lot of people that was like, what do you mean no quinoa? That's an ancient grain. We should be able to have that. So no quinoa, no ancient grains. The other thing too is no sweeteners. So we don't do honey, we don't do coconut sugar. If we're doing sweeteners, it's stevia. Paleo uses a lot of dates in their sweetener recipes, in the desserts and whatnot. Dates are a big substitute that I see happening a lot. And in keto, as most of you know, fruits are very limited to things like raspberries, blueberries, blackberries. The berries are really where you're going to get all your bang for your buck, low glycemic index, and it gives you a little bit of sweetness, but without overloading your body with fructose, which is sugar, and we're trying to stay away from that. Lemons, limes, those are all good. But anything other than that, and strawberries minimally also, anything other than that, we're staying away from. So I know that I have a lot of people that are coming from paleo into the keto world and are kind of confused about some of this stuff. And I had a client not too long ago give me her food journal, and on it showed that for a snack she had 2 dates, and everything else looked pretty clean on that day. But those 2 dates really stuck out, especially considering that, she was on the higher end of her carb max for that day, counting everything else. She didn't count the dates, and yet wasn't in ketosis the next morning when she checked, and was really kind of wondering what happened with that. Well, I know from firsthand experience, I did not lose a pound on paleo. I felt good. I mean, like healthier. I felt like I was definitely giving it the old college try, and I was, getting some results, I think. Maybe it was in my head, but I really wasn't seeing much. And I was really staying true to on some of the Paleo Treats. I was relying heavily on quinoa. I was eating a lot of that. And in that paleo diet is stuff that keto is not friendly with because it causes blood sugar spikes because it's sugar. In any kind of form is still sugar in the body. So those of you out there that are looking at some of those things and going, well, you know, I can have date sweetened this or that. Let me tell you, dates may be the undoing of you all. And I hate to really put the rap on dates, but they kind of deserve it because they're small and they really look like they shouldn't hurt you and they should be no big deal. But each date has 5 grams of carbs, 4.5 grams of sugar. And that's a lot for one little date because when you're eating like things like RX bars, perfect example. They have 3 dates in those little RX bars. So you're getting 15 grams of carbs and almost 15 grams of sugar in one little RX bar. And you might go, well, you know, it's got just nuts and 3 dates and it's got some blueberries or maybe a little bit of peanut butter. Shouldn't be a big deal. It kind of is, especially if you're trying to go really low carb and trying to stay in that keto lane. Those dates will sneak up on you and they'll knock you out of ketosis and you won't even know what happened. It'll come out of nowhere and you'll be like, what? I was doing so good. I've been there. I totally get it. Quinoa, same thing. You know, there's some really good substitutes for sweeteners. I love stevia, but I'm very careful about what brand I use. And found that I find food is sweeter when you eliminate a lot of the sweet, other things that the artificial sweet, whether it's sugar in any form. If you eliminate that stuff from your diet, things naturally become for your cooking. So if you're cooking like a dessert-like substance and you're using a little bit of stevia, it will be sweet. I promise you. Stay away from the dates. Just put them down. Give them to your friend that maybe you don't like too much. Let her eat the dates. Hi, Tiffany from Hawaii. I miss you. So that's the biggest thing when people come into this keto world. They're coming Atkins driven. Atkins. And sugars will really kind of sneak up on you in fruit of any form. So I know that watermelon is looking really good right now, at least around here, and I buy it for the kids and they just love it. And it's one of those things that I used to love, and I just know that it's not something I love anymore because I know it's got a lot of sugar in it, and I know one little piece of watermelon will mess my whole day up, and nobody got time for that. So fruits, dates, quinoa. Instead of quinoa, hemp hearts, great option. And especially if you soak them. Chia and flax, really great options. And they will fill you up with the alpha lipoic acid in the flax, which is something that we all need, the ALAs, which are really good for triglycerides, cholesterol, all that good stuff. The hemp hearts, same thing. You've got fiber in flax, chia, and hemp hearts, which you need. Without having to rely on the quinoa or the pastas. If you're looking for substitutes for rice, cauliflower. I know a lot of you are going to go, cauliflower isn't rice, but you need to try mine. I'm telling you, after time of getting rid of some of the other things in your diet, these things are really good substitutes and are perfectly acceptable, especially for family members. Like my teen boys, they love the cauliflower rice, whether it's stir-fried or roasted or lime cilantro. I mean, like you can do it 100 different ways. And basically you're just looking for something to add to the food that you already have. Spaghetti squash, perfectly. I'm sharing with you that I feed my own family. We're talking about teenage boys that need a lot of food. So I will make little bits of quinoa pasta or white rice, organic usually, basmati or jasmine. And I'll make that in anticipation that they're going to want more. But what they usually do is they fill up on the other stuff, putting a little bit of maybe the pasta or the rice in their main dish. And that's it. And it's amazing to me to see that these boys are able to fill up and that they like it. They're like, wow, you know, really doesn't taste too different. And that's because I've been doing it now for 3 years. So they're kind of like just used to it, but that's all of us, like making this lifestyle change. You're not going to find the perfect swap things for other things like health or weight loss and be okay with that. Like, just know that you might not have pasta again, or it might be a really long time before you actually have real pasta or rice again. And when you do, you'll probably maybe appreciate it a little bit. It does to your body. And then go running back to that cauliflower rice that you're kind of like walking away from right now. I promise you, you will love it. Just give it time. Try it different ways. Try the spaghetti squash a couple different ways. Try zoodles. I love zoodles, zucchini noodles that are spiralized. You can spiralize pretty much anything these days. And there's so many great ways to incorporate vegetables in your diet, which you should be doing regardless of what you're eating, whether it's keto, paleo, whatever it may be. If you're looking at veggies to really fulfill you and fill you up, there's many ways to get them into your diet, including spiralizing or frying up in the stir fry or baking or roasting in any different way. I promise you, you will find something that will float your boat. You know, cauliflower is one of those things that is easy to make taste like anything that you want it to. My cauliflower tots, amazing. My boys dip them in ketchup. So they really can't tell what's what with them. The roast, your lifestyle choices, and your paleo right now, the leap is easy into keto. If you're really looking for that weight loss or those health benefits to maybe lower blood sugar levels, maybe you're pre-diabetic and that's why you went to paleo in the first place. Your blood sugar levels are probably going to stay high. And I hate to say that, but eliminating those sugars, eliminating the fruits, eliminating things that have dates in them, or honey, or coconut sugar, or even agave. Get rid of all that, go keto, and you'll see that your blood sugar levels are going to drop. It's kind of like magic. I can't even tell you. I just firsthand experience being pre-diabetic for years before coming to this lifestyle, even through paleo eating. And nothing changed it until I went keto. So for all of you out there that may be struggling with health issues or weight issues or just looking to make some healthier choices, I hope this was informative. And next week I got even more good stuff to share. So come back 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, mwah, take care.